Hello everyone, this is Navdeep Singla, founder and CEO of On-Device Solutions. We are kickstarting the webinar. I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see our screen. If not, please write in the chat box if you're facing any issues. But hopefully you are able to see our screen and you're able to hear me. Today we have the pleasure of the company of Mansoor Khan from Tamouh Group. So he is the Group IT Director. So he will be talking us through along with me their experience with myJobCard. So we'll cover all the details later. But just in terms of the basics, so we will be spending the first 30 or so minutes just going through some slides which will introduce you to the company, the products that we offer, and the experience at Tamouh. Then we will open up for Q&A. But in case you have any questions on the way, please feel free to type in the chat box, and we will be happy to take them up later at the end of the webinar. So with that, let me just do a quick audio check. So Mansoor, can you please just speak to confirm everyone can hear you?
Yeah, hi everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Thank you very much. So we are going to the second slide, a bit of an overview of the agenda. So as I mentioned, we'll cover ODS overview, which will cover briefly the products that we offer and the services we offer. Then we will introduce, and sorry, I just reminded myself, we are recording the session just so that all of you know. Yeah. So then we will introduce Thermo Group, which Mansoor will talk us through, like how Thermo Group is structured. Then we will look at myJobCard implementation at the Fabruk, which is a company owned by Thermo Group. And then we will look at other use cases of myJobCard. We will end up with architecture of myJobCard for those of you who are IT savvy. And then we will open up for Q&A. Hopefully we should have ample time. But if we are not able to cover all the questions, please feel free to follow up in an email and we will be happy to address it. So now we start with a bit of an introduction about on-device solutions. So we are an SAP partner, both build and services, and our primary focus is SAP Enterprise Mobility, and that is providing anywhere and anytime access to information stored in SAP and other enterprise systems. So this is the main motto we work for. We have seen historically a lot of customers implemented SAP, but the access to SAP was in many cases limited to office-based staff. There was limited access in some industries like utilities and others, but primarily field workers or factory workers or mobile workers were not really able to get easy access to data in SAP. And this is what we believe is the game changer. Like if you give those people access to data in SAP so that they can move away from paper-based processes, that is where you can gain a lot of business benefits without making a very big strategic technology shift. So this is the focus of what we do. We are a company which was founded by 3 mobile architects, and currently we are 100 plus team strong. We are headquartered in the UK, but we have customers all over the world. And there are few awards we have won over the time, but I wouldn't bore you with those. So the next is a bit more about what we do for our customers. So as we mentioned, we are focused on enterprise mobility, which covers expertise in asset management, field service, mobile inventory, and warehouse solutions. We start all the way from mobility strategy. So if as a company you want to understand how enterprise mobility can help you, what are the use cases, even covering office workers, so we can help you outline a strategy and come up with a roadmap, like how to leverage mobility. Some of the things we cover in is like what are the devices customers should use, what are the technologies they should use, how to integrate with some of the key systems. So we cover all of that in mobility strategy. Then we have packaged applications. So this is a focus for today. So this is where we have pre-built IP on certain solutions. and then we can deploy very quickly for our customers. We also build custom mobile solutions where the requirements are very specific for a customer. We can build a specific solution for them. We also do consulting on Fury, but last but not the least, we are also SAP's go-to partner for SAP mobile products like Work Manager, Asset Manager, and others. So we have a lot of business in that consulting area as well, where we have expertise in those product sets. So we got a customer which is listed, which is spread out, as you can see. It is spread not just geographically, it also covers various industries like utilities, manufacturing, facilities management, and social housing and others. So it's spread across. So I move on to the next slide. I think this is pretty much just confirming the use cases we cover, which is field asset management, factory asset management, mobile inventory, field services, and even the surveys. So even if there is no asset link and you're doing like inspections and surveys, we cover that use case as well. Now briefly about the product set. So we have 3 products in our portfolio, and the flagship one being myJobCard, which is a work and asset management mobile app connected with SAP, and that covers both ECC and S for HANA. And we will cover in more detail later. We are already on SAP App Center and one of the top few partners. And then we have myAsset, which is more of an application for your managerial staff or for end customers, where they can simply scan barcode of an asset and they can see the history and other details of that asset maintenance. And the last one is warehouse, myWarehouse, and that is for your warehouses to manage goods receipt, goods issue, and other processes like put away, picking, and others. So today we will focus on myJobCard and look at an example case study. But before we do that, just a bit more about myJobCard. So myJobCard is an SAP certified mobile solution, which means the solution has been following SAP best practice of mobile app development. And it also includes an add-on which we install in your SAP system, which gives a very quick integration with SAP system. And that is what allows us to turn around the project in weeks, not in months. We were part of SAP's Spotlight program in Q3 and Q4, so that is consecutive for 2 quarters, which is quite unusual. And recently, if you go on LinkedIn, you will see that we were one of the top 3 partners globally who SAP recognized had a real value add-on application for S/4HANA. So you can watch that webinar which SAP hosted if you're interested. And SAP App Center also featured us in SAP Sapphire and TechEd. That is just to give the credibility we have of this solution with SAP. And in terms of the 3 customer case studies we can bring up, it is from 3 different industries. The first one is a global manufacturer who is using this application for their production equipment maintenance, and they're rolling this out across 40 factories worldwide. And this is a very interesting use cases, and I think manufacturing is an industry where a lot of potential is there, and we are very excited about that industry. Then what we are going to talk about today is the book facility management, which is part of Thermo Group. So they were one of our first customers, so we will talk about what innovation we have delivered for them in such a short time. And then the third case study is from a social housing company, Century Housing in UK, and that is more about how they use a fire risk assessment Excel sheet and converted that into a digital form. So let's talk a bit more about Tamouh Group, and at this point I will hand it over to Mansoor, who will kindly walk us through the next few slides and their journey with myJobCard. Over to you, Mansoor.
Yeah, thanks Navdeep, and good morning everyone. My name is, just to introduce myself, my name is Mansoor Ali Khan. I'm the Group IT Director for Tamouh Investments. We are Abu Dhabi based company in UAE here, and one of the largest real estate master developer in UAE. A lot of subsidiaries we have dealing with many solutions across. Predominantly the Thermo Group we talked about, we are going to talk currently for this solution. It's an asset management company. Again, it's based in Abu Dhabi. and then Iltizam operates in multiple entities, uh, various solution provider in the real estate area. Tafawuk is the facility management company of Iltizam, um, operates across UAE and now expanding across GCC. And thanks to Navdeep and their solution, we were able to scale up the operation so fastly that we are now looking at an operation expansion in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and then we are looking at in Oman, and then expanded to local in UAE across. So that's the structure which we operate at this point in time. Now, going back to a little bit of a journey, what Tafawuk Facility Management do. The Tafawuk management portfolio includes um, lot of high-rise buildings. We operate malls. Tafawuk Facility Management operate malls. We have we are one of the provider, the facility management provider for VIP customers across. Obviously, they need automation as well. There are a lot of the palaces we manage for the royal families over here. So we do provide the maintenance breakdown, the preventive maintenance, and a lot of other things which are required from a facility management perspective. Now, if you can just move the next slide. So the journey with myJobCard, we implemented SAP for the facility management business in 2015, and that's where we brought them onto a non-SAP solution, onto an SAP solution. We implemented plant maintenance and the customer service module within the SAP, and we looked at a lot of solutions. Probably we spent about 1.5 years in identifying solutions. There were a lot of options available. We were very particular about what solution we were looking for. We wanted a solution which can be a flawless integrated with SAP. We wanted a certified solution, most importantly, so that we don't have hassle of connectivity. And of course, we wanted a quality integration so that we don't face any issues when the technicians are on the ground. And the lookout started on the internet, and then finally I thought, okay, we go on to the SAP App Store and start looking for it. And I found very suitable solution from myJobCard, from on-device solution, the myJobCard. We spent a lot of time evaluating the solution, and I think we evaluated the myJobCard to our satisfaction. We were on ECC 6.0 with EHP7 when we were implementing myJobCard, and then recently we got migrated to S4HANA. So I'll just through the journey, how the implementation was. I think one of the best part of the myJobCard was that it was a quick deployment. Initially, the non-SAP solutions, the timelines given were like longer than the SAP integrated solution. So SAP integrated solution, which is the myJobCard, we were able to implement in a faster, I would say that rapid solution. Normally, the way the rapid solutions get implemented, in that phase, we got myJobCard solution implemented, and we went on to bringing the different verticals of the business using the mobility solution. We factored the first phase one as a solution to scale up, as a solution to provide the digital innovation on our PPM business, which is the plant preventive maintenance, which is close to 90% of or 80% of our business. So and then we took out the unit services, wherein you have the customer paying we got to generate a bill quotation and collect the money from the customer, send the confirmations and all. So what were the issues we were facing? The first thing was that we were printing a lot of orders. That's a major concern everyone was raising. We got to print a lot of papers, whatever the pictures we are doing, whatever the fixtures we were doing on the jobs, we were taking the printout of it, bringing it back, scanning it, attaching it to SAP job order. It's a lot of a laborious activity which we were doing before job card. My job card was introduced. Now, how did it transformed us? Now, we are now close to 200 plus technicians using this solution, and 200 plus technicians were producing a lot of papers and a lot of manual work to do, again scan and put it back onto the job card. So the job card completely made us a zero paper. We are now a zero paper in the entire process, and most importantly, the technician is to come to a location, take the job card and go to the building and then start the maintenance work. Now the time wasted doing the transportation from this location to that location, probably that was the major turnover we achieved. We got a productivity increase of close to 30 to 35% in our current manpower. We were able to achieve that, the productivity, and plus the environment and all other factors. One of the good part was that after the implementation, the post go live, probably I would say that, I mean, Navdeep would to agree with me, we have never called them for any issues. I think that's the stability which I really appreciate the guys in Navdeep's team. They are really made the product so good that we don't need to worry about after the implementation is a hook and start. That kind of a solution and I was quite happy. The choice was really good, and then we were able to execute the project. And finally, the product was quite good in terms of the stability, in terms of the processes, which really matched to the SAP standard processes, and it's all built in, and then there was no customization required. I think we didn't do any customization, at least to my knowledge, and things worked fine. Now the question came in back when we were migrating it to our S4 HANA. How does the mobility or my job card would work? I think that was really a smooth journey. We quickly migrated from ECC to S4 HANA with a no any disruption from a business perspective. They take out the old version of the add-on which was installed in ECC, and then installed the new version of S4 HANA when we migrated, and that's where it again quickly started. Last month, it was about 30 days now. We gone live with S4 HANA, and the mobility again picked up the same stability. So that's probably the journey which we went through my job card. And from an implementation perspective, it was like nice team. We had a couple guys from Navdeep, and the good part of the journey was that Navdeep and the team were personally involved in the execution of the project. And then Navdeep flied on to Abu Dhabi, and then he met us and then inquired about the health of the project and all this. I think that overall we were quite happy, and I would really appreciate the way these guys executed the project. Now, what it impacted us, how did it help us to grow our business? I think if you look at it everywhere, there's a mobility, and the way we compared our solution with some solution people have implemented in the region, our competitors and the similar business lines. I think the best part of that was that the SAP has a workforce manager. I think it's not less than what SAP has. I mean, I think I would say that from a business perspective, from our facility business perspective, probably workforce management wouldn't have given the output which the my job card is giving us. I think that's where I would rate them in terms of the adaptability and then the use case of this particular product. Now we really expanded after the my job card were implemented on the facility management business. We were expanded. We got a new business. We got new opportunities float to us because of the way we operate, because of the way we deliver the solution for the customers using the mobility. And we are looking at expanding the solution to wider geographies like Saudi, Oman, Egypt, and all. So I think that's probably the best journey we had with myJobCard, and then I thank Navdeep and team for the good work they did it, and that's probably I think I covered all of this, Navdeep. So yeah, I think that's what I have to say on this journey of myJobCard.
Yeah, thank you, Mansoor. Thank you for your kind words. So this is just, I think Mansoor covered all these business benefits already, but one thing which strikes me the most is the motto of doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. So especially in facilities management, when you have multi-year contract, to be able to give your customers an audit trail of all the work you have done, that I think is very powerful, and that's one area which I really like about Tamouh Group. So moving on to some of the screenshots to give you a bit more technical view of what we have done. So here are some of the screenshots from the app, which is on an Android smartphone. We digitized around 5 different key processes for Tamouh Group. So first is PPM, which is typical preventive maintenance orders where coming from like a maintenance plan of an asset. Then is a reactive, which is like customer calls up and then you have to either create an order like a breakdown maintenance in manufacturing. So that is a reactive order. Corrective is another variant of reactive, but the difference here is the work is identified by the technician himself and not raised by the customer. You could think of in utilities where you have like a pipeline or a transformer, you need to fix it, you can raise a corrective order from maintenance. Then you have IUS, which I think is we are most proud of, that is in-unit services. This is where the customer doesn't exist in the system, they just need some help, like an ad hoc help. They don't have an annual contract, but you still want to serve them on a fixed fee, but then you go and give them a quotation in the field, getting rid of the quotation process, and then you digitally accept that quotation from the customer and then do the work. So this is the in-unit services, which is in a way you can call ad hoc service. And then inspection is another quality assurance task where the inspectors or the supervisors get a selective set of orders they carry out, and just to confirm that the work has been carried out as per the quality standards organization set itself. So we delivered all of those processes using standard app. That is the key thing, and you can see the user interface of the app, and that is primarily because it is built using native UI, because we believe that native UI is what you need for such an app where you need to work on it all day. Hybrid technologies are good, but when you're looking at a timesheet system or another which is used rarely, but for these type of solution, every minute you save of technician's time and any user adoption percentage increase is very helpful. So we focus a lot on the user interface, so that we use native push notification. So whenever a service order is generated, manager gets a push notification and then he transfers it to the technician and he gets a push notification as well. You can use a camera for barcode scanning or dedicated scanners if you want to use that. And you can use other features like search, filter, and many others in there. And other key elements are material integration with SAP, and that is where it really differentiates from other, let's say, out of SAP solutions, because when you look at the material integration, time integration, labor integration, or finance integration, that is where SAP integrated solutions are much more important, because you can actually issue material from the field. You can use your van stock if you want to, so all of those features are there. So moving on to some of the other aspects, as you can see, like we got attachments feature as well, which allows you to attach pictures, video, and others. The most important one, which will come later, is the quotation and forms, which is our key unique selling point, which is where you can build your own data capture forms very quickly. We also have a supervisor view where you can actually get the orders initially, then you can allocate it to your team if you want to. So moving on to the form engine part. So this is where you can actually as a business use our form engine to deploy the data capture forms you want. And it is entirely in your hand which forms you want to design, and without any customization using standard SAP and standard myJobCard, you can deploy those forms. Let me give you a few examples. The first form you see on the screen is a pre-checklist, which is like a health and safety form. So every time you do a job, you can fill this form, which is designed by you for your requirements. Then you have a quotation form. So traditionally you would have a paper quotation where you fill it up, or you will call a central call center where they do a quotation. But using this technology, Tamouh are able to create a quotation in the field, and the technician is becoming a salesman. So he can fill in the questionnaire, and it generates a quotation which customer can accept and sign. So if you see, the next is customer acceptance. So he can sign, and that is digitized in the system that customer has signed for it. And then the work can either be scheduled, or if it is a smaller piece, can be carried out straight away. They can even do the payment receipts in the field. So that is including signature again that this money has been received. And then this is picked up by backend SAP to do the required FICO postings in the finance module. And then last is customer feedback. So this is where the same form engine is used to capture customer feedback as well, so that you're not relying on a secondary process, because as many of us know, once you lose the customer, then it's very difficult to get feedback after that. Once you're doing the work, it's much easier to do it straight away. So this is just showing the flexibility of the form engine and how the solution can be tailored to specific. This is a bit about the architecture. So it all starts with the backend ECC or S/4HANA. We install an add-on in there which gives you access to the services in SAP Cloud Platform. Now this architecture obviously assumes that you have Cloud Platform and that is what you use, but it works on-premise as well on SAP Mobile Platform. And then we just have a mobile client-side application which connects with the middleware, and it all connects. So this is a very simple architecture following SAP best practice, and this is what it is deployed on. With that, obviously we want to make sure we finish in time and don't take too much of your time. So we're done with the main content of the webinar. Now we are open for Q&A. Your line should be open on audio, as well as we look at any chat Q&A questions as well. So please feel free to ask any question you may have.